Hi, I'm Brent. Today we've got a video update on the MY16 Subaru Forester TS. Now that's the upgraded version of the Forester XT with all the extra features from STI such as strut brace, suspension modifications and other mechanical improvements. But the important thing to understand, there's a little bit of doubt out there over whether this particular model's got the same power and performance as the current model Forester XT. Well, I'm here to tell you that in Australia, from our diagnosis, it is exactly the same, but the confusing part is the technical information off the Japanese website can be a little bit hard to follow, and in Australia this model actually doesn't exist on the Subaru website because it is a limited edition model, which there is only 300 models currently in Australia being sold. So for technical information, what we've done is gone and tested all of the cars, and this is now another one of the models that we've recently done for one of our clients, and some more R&D on the dyno, and I'm happy to be able to tell you some technical updates. So let's quickly summarise what the car is itself. As you can see in the engine bay, it's the DIT engine. That's the 2-litre direct injection engine, plastic inlet manifold. You'll see here it's got an AVO modified top mount intercooler, which we fitted at the end of our project with a silicon intake pipe for a little bit more performance. And we'll talk about that in a sec. The car comes factory standard with STI brakes front and rear, STI springs and shocks. It's got the trim inside, which is different to the Forester XT model. Comes with the CVT automatic transmission. Unfortunately, these models still in Australia are not available with a manual transmission. We just so much hope, wish that Subaru would bring them in Australia with a manual, but at the moment this is not an option. But for other features on the actual model itself, have a look at our other videos. I've done several other videos just touching on the model on its own. But for what we're going to talk about today is dyno data, testing specific facts. And I've got 3 graphs here which I'll scan and load onto our website with a link at the bottom of this video channel that you can have a look at. But let's just start with the raw facts from our dyno point of view. Factory standard at 2600 RPM, the car has a little bit over 310 Newton meters of torque measured at the wheel hubs. Being a hub dyno, we can measure proper metric torque, whereas a roller dyno you can only measure tractive effort, so hold that thought. Factory rated power at 5600 RPM, if you're going to rev it right to that RPM, 135 kilowatts measured at the hubs. So, and you can see the car comes on peak torque very, very early, and of course, like most turbo cars, drops off. And in the mid-range of the power graph, which is the green line, it's obviously got the meaty part of the increase in performance as well. Remembering that we've got to be careful we don't over-torque the performance upgrade on this car with the transmission, otherwise you can have long-term transmission problems if you put too much torque through the CVT trans. So, there are 3 kits available that we produce for this range of engines, but on the CVT transmission models we only recommend 2. That's the XA and the XB kit. So the XA kit is the maximum reliable power that you can get out of the factory standard engine with a standard airbox, a standard exhaust system and no other mechanical changes, but still get to keep the MRT guarantees as far as factory warranty, lifetime warranty on any mechanical parts later on down the track. So the XA power kit delivers, and again on the graph we'll be able to show you, a increase in power of around 15 kilowatts, again measured at the hubs, at 3800 RPM, and the increase in torque, which is a healthy increase down around 3200 RPM, of 30 Newton meters. So you might say, well, I want to try that out, but I'm going to get more, I want more power upgrades. What can I do for that? So you can then migrate to the XB kit, and I'll quickly get my cameraman to go around the back, which I told him I wouldn't do, but you'll notice down the back it's still got factory standard rear mufflers, but I'll get a still photo and show you on our website. With the exception of the rear mufflers, the rest of the exhaust system from here forward has now been replaced with the MRT custom 3-inch exhaust all the way up and around to the bottom and into the turbo, and you can just see the front of the downpipe right there on the top of our heat shield, which is probably a little bit hard to see in this photo. You can see the crinkle of the heat shield on our front downpipe, which comes off the side of the turbo. So effectively this car, let's say turboback exhaust using factory rear mufflers, because testing again has proven that the rear mufflers on this car are only worth about 2 or 3 kilowatts. So why would you go and spend $500, $800 replacing a pair of mufflers for only 2 or 3 kilowatts. And also by maintaining the factory rear mufflers on these cars, the exhaust system sounds really, really good. If you do a complete Turboback exhaust, or you're offered that from a workshop, you ask yourself the question, have they actually tested and why are they trying to sell you a complete exhaust and rear mufflers, and what is it going to sound like? Because if you don't keep the factory rear mufflers and you modify them with a complete exhaust, my opinion is, and a lot of our other clients, is it actually sounds quite horrible and not very nice. So you would then include those components as part of our XB kit: engine pipe, centre pipe, high flow cat converter, flexible joint, and all that kind of stuff. And again, we can show you some still figures. And when you upgrade from the XA to XB, you get another additional increase in performance of about 70 Newton meters, and the net increase is about another 30 kilowatts. So depending on where you measure it on the graph, but in the meaty part of the range on this particular car, 4600 RPM, we've gone from 125 kilowatts of the wheels up to around 155 kilowatts, which is a pretty healthy increase, and an additional 70 Newton meters of torque at 4200 RPM. So to put that into perspective, compared to standard, overall we're talking about an increase of 90 Newton meters at around 4,600 RPM, or somewhere around 40 to 45 kilowatts measured at the hubs at around 4,800 RPM, which takes it up to a peak power of somewhere between 160 and 170 Newton meters. And you can see at the front of the graph here, we're just starting to touch on our peak torque figure, which we're comfortable with the CVT, of 390 Newton meters at 2,800 RPM, because our policy is we don't like to go over 400 Newton meters measured at the wheels with the CVT trans. Compared to the Subaru delivered turbo diesel model, they have a lot more torque than these engines at low RPM, and they use a very, very similar transmission. So overall, the good thing about this is comes with our new car factory warranty guarantee. There are some notes on our website to help you understand how we manage and warrant the CVT transmission, so have a read about that, because that is one thing that we can't control from a warranty point of view, but you as a driver, where you are in the world, it's important that you are aware of the limitations of the CVT transmission with all Subaru models, especially when you're considering how much torque you're putting through them. But the good thing is engine and components such as that all come with our new car factory warranty guarantee. Also comes with our money back performance guarantee. So if you don't think those increases I've just spoken about are worth it, or you don't think when you drive the car it's what you expected, we'll give you a refund. But also more importantly, we give a noise guarantee. So as I spoke earlier on with the exhaust system and the modifications we've done, because we manufacture our own exhausts, if you don't like the noise, we'll modify it or change it or refund you back to the XA power kit if you let us know within 30 days. So other things to consider when you're looking at this car, as I touched on earlier, we've changed the top mount intercooler to an AVO one. That's a small improvement you can get. It doesn't give a neck snapping improvement in power, but the ability of the design to get rid of heat when it's under high load maintains a more efficient engine intake temperature from a performance point of view. So our testing shows that when it's coupled with a performance tune and an upgrade, it doesn't give a net increase in power, but what it does do is maintain the temperature more consistently so you can hold that power for longer. So don't go putting a top mount intercooler on any of these Subarus and expecting some instant increase in performance, because you won't get it. But what you will get is more efficient use of those parts when they're coupled with the right components from a tuning point of view. Air intakes we've touched on earlier. Unless you want something from a looks point of view or a noise point of view, an air intake on these particular DIT engines makes zero power at all, unless you're doing some massive increase in modification to the engine, because the factory standard airbox doesn't affect flow capacity of what the engine can deliver with these other mods. And of course there are some small modifications, blow-off valves and things like that you can fit on these cars, such as the GFP adjustable one. So there you have it, some tips and ideas on how to improve your Subaru. This particular model, Subaru STI TS model. So it's the TS model sold in Australia with STI upgrades. Check out our other videos to help you learn more about what is actually included in the car. We're going to get this car off the dyno and finish off our road testing so we can deliver it to another happy client. But for now, no matter where you are in the world, I hope this has helped you. I'm Brett Middleton. Thanks for watching.